Well, tomorrow morning, a massive colony of native sea urchins will find a new home on Oahu's windward shore. KITV4's Catherine Cruz spent some time today at the hatchery where they were raised. And here to give us a sneak peek of what this is all about. Catherine?
Well, you know, it will be Sea Urchin City first thing tomorrow. That's when 1,200 sea urchins will be spread out on a patch of reef. The goal is to keep invasive seaweed in check.
It's all about restoring a reef using native species. The sea urchin and lots of his kind will be transported from a hatchery at Sand Island to a patch of reef in Kanehoe Bay.
This is the first time we've been able to raise sea urchins, first of all, in captivity. Very few places in the world do this.
The urchin's main job will be to eat a lot of seaweed, the invasive kind that's been known to do all kinds of damage.
It takes over, it kills everything, it smothers the reef, it blocks out the light, and it takes up space for other things to grow.
Scientists have been collecting adult specimens from the wild and using their sperm and eggs to propagate microscopic creatures. Cohen has been nurturing them in the hatchery. It's been a lot of trial and error, and it's labor-intensive too, having to transfer the urchins from tank to tank over time. Cohen calls them his babies, and just like any young living thing, they need lots of the right kind of food.
We give them as much variety as we can. We try to feed them native seaweeds and just to fatten them up until they're large enough to go out onto the reef and do their job.
Cohen says with monitoring, he doesn't think that will happen.
We can actually herd these guys like cows or goats. We keep them where we want them. And if they start to migrate to another area, we physically will pick them up and put them back on the reef.
The urchin release takes place in water 2 to 6 feet deep, and while the spines look sinister and needle sharp, they surprisingly are not very pokey. Coleman says if you happen to step on them, you're more likely to hurt the urchin than to get hurt yourself.
Now, scientists did release a test release of 200 urchins a few weeks ago. The goal is to get up to 10,000 to 25,000 each month. So we will have to see how that goes. Laura?
All right. Thanks, Catherine.